Tell me about the worst webinar you've ever been on. What was like, to just describe for me and like shout out some words. What's the worst webinar you've ever been on? It was monotone. Great. What else? No interaction. Perfect. What else? It was a lecture. Even worse than a lecture is where they give you the slides and they just read the bullets at you. I'm like, dude, save us all an hour and a half. Just PDF me the thing. Send it to me. I'll be done in 3 minutes so we can all get on with our lives. What else? Talk to me about crap webinars. What? It's condescending. What's it? Technical issues. Yeah, I hate that. My worst ever technical issue, a dude introduces me, gives me the best intro ever. And now introducing all the way from Sydney, Australia, Mr. Taki Moore. And then power out. In my suburb, I'm like, I'm trying to avoid that. Sometimes it's out of control. So here's what we're going to do. We want to grab their attention early and hook them because we've got to create connection. In the start of our webinar, we want to set up this dynamic that it's not going to be a lecture like someone over here said, but it's going to be a two-way conversation. Why? I reckon conversions happen in conversations. Well, even 10 minutes before the webinar starts, what can you do? Play some music. So I read this book which said to play music at the start of your webinar. I thought it was a great idea. I think song selection is really important because I thought music, great idea. Sexual healing. We're in the chorus and it started to get really creepy. So let's just like kill that right now. But we're basically going to welcome people and we're going to ask them a question. Yeah, whereabouts in the world are you from? And what's the best thing that's happened to you this week? People start to talk to you, right? I said there's 3 things you need to do. Attention, connection. Third thing you've got to do is get permission. Well, you got to get permission for 3 things. You got to get permission, number 1, for your style. Have you ever had like been in a seminar and somebody's at the front of the room and you judge them because their shoes suck or their accent is weird or they lisp or their hair's all messy or whatever? So if you're the person at the front, you want to get permission for your style straight away so they can't use that against you. So if I'm on a webinar, I say, so welcome everybody, let me just give you a quick heads up about how today's going to work. I'm going to speak quickly with an Australian accent for the rest of this webinar. Why? I can't change that. And some of my American dudes tell me to slow down. I'm like, I'm not going to slow down, so just listen faster. We're going to make this interactive, not because I think interaction's so cool, but because I want to find out exactly what's going on for you so I can tailor my content and give you exactly what you need. Is that okay? People are like, yeah. So I've got permission for my style. That's number 1. Number 2, permission for my content. Let me tell you what I want to cover today. Bam, 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 bam. Just read out the bullets you used in your marketing and you'll be kind of 90% of the way there. Thirdly, permission for the sale. Have you ever been on a webinar or been on stage and you had to make an offer and you were really cool and smooth when you were teaching and then when you got to the offer, So you got to get permission for your sale up front. So we're going to get attention, connection, permission for, what were the 3 things? Who can remember? Style and content and exactly. The first big webinar mistake is that there's no opening hook. You got 3 minutes to grab them, and if you lose them, they're not going to stick around to the end of your session. Mistake number 2, teaching too much. We've got this crazy thing that we do where we want to give people amazing value, and so we give them the data dump. Have you ever had one of those situations where a friend, like, because you're all smart, and a friend goes, hey, I'd really like to just maybe buy you coffee or buy you lunch and pick your brains for a bit. They take you out for lunch and they usually take you somewhere cheap and nasty, but that's whatever. And you spend like an hour or 2 hours or whatever it is, and you just give them the best stuff. And you're like, dude, I just wish they realized how much value I just gave them. And at the end of it, they say, thank you so much, that was amazing. And they walk away with a big smile, right? How much do they implement? Nothing. What kind of results do they get? None. You gave them all of the information and it's not enough because we're not here to give them information. We're here to create a transformation. Do you see the difference? Your job on a webinar is to help them make 3 or 4 great decisions.